It was late afternoon at a small gas station off County Road 8, the kind of quiet place where the coffee is always too hot. The air smells like diesel, and folks greet each other the old-fashioned way by looking you in the eye. A thin winter sun hung low, turning the pavement gold. Walt Bear Harlan was finishing up at Pump 3. Steady hands, weathered face, gray beard trimmed, neat. 62 years old, broad-shouldered from a lifetime of work and a lifetime on two wheels. His black bike sat nearby, polished but practical, not flashy. Walt wasn't looking for trouble. At his age, you learn trouble usually finds you without an invitation. He was putting the nozzle back when he heard it sharp. It's a panicked cry that didn't belong in a place this calm. Please. Please. Walt turned toward the convenience store entrance. A girl came running out so fast she nearly tripped over the curb. 15 or 16, brown hair pulled into a messy ponytail, cheeks wet, jacket zipped wrong like her hands had been shaking. She looked over her shoulder like something inside the store was chasing her. Then she saw Walt and ran straight at him. "I don't know these people," she cried, voice cracking, words tumbling out like she couldn't stop them. "I don't know them. If you're a parent, grandparent, or you've ever worried about a child not coming home, come and stay with her, because that's the choice that matters in moments like this." Walt didn't grab her. He didn't startle her. He simply stepped in front of her between the girl and the door, like an old oak tree deciding the wind would not pass. "All right," Walt said, calm and firm. "You're safe right here. What's your name?" The girl swallowed hard. Mia Carter." "Mia," Walt said gently. "Look at me. Are you hurt?" She shook her head fast, but her hands were trembling so badly she could barely hold her phone. "They said they're taking me home, but I don't know them. They're not my parents. They're not anything." Walt's eyes narrowed, not angry, yet focused. "How did you get here?" Mia tried to breathe. "Bus stop. I missed my ride. My phone died. I went inside to ask for a charger, and her voice broke again. They told me to come with them. They said my mom sent them." Walt felt something cold settle in his stomach. Predators loved those words. "Your mom sent me. Your dad asked me. Come with me. Don't make a scene." The door opened behind him. 2 adults stepped out. A man and a woman. The man was mid-30s, clean jeans, dark jacket, baseball cap low. The woman looked friendly at first glance, warm coat, scarf. A smile that didn't reach her eyes. The woman raised her hands like she was calming a frightened animal. "There you are, sweetheart. You gave us a scare." Mia pressed closer to Walt's side. "No," she whispered. "No, please." Walt didn't move. He kept his voice level. "Afternoon. Who are you folks?" The man's smile was quick and sharp. "Her aunt and uncle. We're here to pick her up." Walt nodded once. "All right. What's her mother's name?" The woman blinked just a half-second too long. "Her mother?" Walt's voice stayed polite. "Yes, ma'am. Her mother's name." The man stepped forward. "Listen, old-timer, this doesn't concern you." Walt's eyes didn't change. "It concerns me because she's telling me she doesn't know you." The man's jaw tightened. The friendly mask slipped for just a moment, showing irritation. "And something else?" "Calculation." Mia's voice rose, trembling. "I don't know them. I swear." If you believe kids should never be forced to be polite when they're scared, comment, "Trust your gut." Somebody reading might need that reminder. The woman's smile hardened. "Honey, stop making this difficult." Walt lifted his phone, thumb already hovering over the call screen. "We can settle this easy. We'll call the police and your family. If you're who you say you are, you'll have nothing to worry about." The man's eyes flicked to the parking lot, exits, cars, distance. His hand slid toward his pocket. Walt noticed at 62, you don't win fights by being faster. You win by seeing them coming. "Hands out of your pockets," Walt said quietly. The man froze. "The woman's smile disappeared completely, sir," the woman said, voice colder now. "Just give her to us." Walt turned his head slightly toward Mia, without taking his eyes off them. Mia stepped behind me. Stay close. Don't run. Mia did exactly that. Hiding behind his shoulder like a child behind a grandfather, Walt dialed. Not 911. Yet he called someone who could arrive faster than paperwork. The line picked up on the second ring. Bear. A deep voice answered. Duke, Walt said. I need you and the boys. Miller's Gas off County Road 8 right now. Possible abduction. 2 adults claiming a teen. There was no hesitation. On our way? Walt ended the call and finally hit 911. The man's face changed when he saw Walt calling. He took one step back toward his car. Walt raised his voice, still controlled, but loud enough for nearby customers to hear. This girl says she doesn't know you. Police are on the way. Stay right there. The man's eyes flashed anger now, not calculation. You're making a mistake. Walt stared him down. No, you did. The woman tried another angle sweetness again. Sir, please. We don't want trouble. Walt's voice was calm as stone. Then you picked the wrong child. A horn beeped from the road. Then another motorcycles. 3 bikes rolled into the station. Then 2 more, the sound deep and unmistakable. 5 men pulled in and parked in a loose line. No sudden moves. No shouting. Just presence. Leading them was Calvin Duke Red. Late 50s, thick gray mustache, eyes like a courthouse judge. Beside him, Leon Hawk Price, sharp and watchful. Rory Patch Velasquez, built like a bulldozer. Silas Preacher Kane, quiet and steady. And Nina Sableheart, the kind of woman who could stop a room without raising her voice. Duke took one look at Mia behind Walt and the 2 adults by the door, and his face went from neutral to dangerous in an instant. Duke walked up beside Walt. What do we got? Walt kept it simple. She says she doesn't know them. They claim family. They can't answer basic questions. Sable crouched slightly to Mia's level, staying gentle. Sweetheart, you're doing the right thing. Do you know your mom's phone number? Mia nodded, shaking. Yes. Sable held out her hand. Tell me. I'll call her. Mia recited the number perfectly, like she'd repeated it in her head 100 times. Sable dialed immediately. The man and woman exchanged a glance, quick, nervous, that told Walt everything. If your heart is pounding right now, hit like and comment not today, 'cause when communities show up, predators lose options. The man's hand moved again, this time toward his car door. Patch stepped slightly. Not blocking, just making it clear. Leaving won't be easy. Duke spoke calmly. Loud enough for the whole lot. Nobody's going anywhere until police arrive. The man scoffed. You can't hold us. Preacher finally spoke, voice quiet but heavy. We're not holding you. We're waiting. Big difference. Sable's phone connected. A woman answered, breathless, frantic. Hello? Hello? Sable's voice softened. Ma'am, my name is Nina Hart. I'm at Miller's Gas on County Road 8. I have a young lady here who says she's Mia Carter. Is Mia your daughter? There was a sound on the line, like a sob breaking free. Oh my God, yes. Yes, that's my baby. Put her on. Sable handed the phone to Mia carefully. Mom. Mia cried, and the word alone carried everything. Mia's mother sobbed so hard she could barely speak. Where are you? Are you okay? I've been calling your phone, Mia shook, clutching the phone. I'm okay. I'm okay. These people said you sent them, but you didn't, right? No, her mother shouted. No, I didn't send anyone. Mia, stay right where you are. I'm coming. I'm calling the police again. Stay there. Mia looked at Walt like she was afraid the moment would disappear. Walt nodded gently. You're safe. The woman, pretending to be family, went pale. The man's eyes went hard. He realized the lie was dead. Police sirens finally rose in the distance. The man did the one thing Walt expected. He tried to run. He shoved the car door open and lunged for the driver's seat. Duke moved first, fast for his age, grabbing the door and slamming it shut before the man could climb in. Hawk stepped in and held the man's wrist knot, twisting. Not breaking, just stopping. Don't, Hawk said calmly. The man struggled, face red. Let go of me. Patch's voice was low. You're about to make this much worse. The woman backed away, hands raised. We didn't do anything. Sable stared at her. You lied to take a child. That's doing something. The police arrived, 2 cruisers, then a third. Officers got out and froze at the sight of bikers. Then saw Mia, crying, clutching a phone, backed against Walt. One officer's expression shifted into urgency. Ma'am, are you Mia? Mia nodded quickly. Yes, I don't know them. The officer turned to the man and woman. Hands where I can see them. The man tried to protest. This is a misunderstanding, Walt cut in, voice steady. It's not. They lied about her mother. Her mother confirmed it on the phone. Sable held up her call log and handed it to the officer. Time-stamped. The officer nodded sharply. Cuff them. As the cuffs clicked, the man's mask dropped fully, replaced by venom. He stared at Walt like he wanted to remember his face. Walt didn't flinch. At his age, you stop being afraid of stares. The officer asked Mia if she needed medical help. She shook her head, but her knees were trembling. Sable wrapped her own scarf gently around Mia's shoulders, like you do for your grandchild walking into cold wind. You did everything right. Mia whispered, barely audible. I thought nobody would believe me. That sentence hit Walt like a hammer. He looked away for a moment, jaw tight. If you've ever said kids these days exaggerate, comment I believe you, 'cause that one phrase can save a life. Mia's mother arrived 10 minutes later, car skidding into the lot like she'd driven through fear itself. She jumped out and ran, nearly falling, then grabbed Mia so tight it looked painful. I've got you, she kept saying. I've got you, Mia cried into her shoulder. I didn't know what to do. Her mother held her face. You did the bravest thing. You asked for help? Then Mia's mother looked at Walt, eyes swollen, voice shaking. Sir, thank you. Thank you for not walking away. Walt nodded, uncomfortable with praise. I just stood here. Duke spoke softly beside him. Sometimes that's the whole difference. The officers separated the suspects. One officer came back to Walt and Duke. We're going to need statements. And thank you for keeping it calm. Duke's mouth twitched. We're old enough to know yelling doesn't help. The officer hesitated, then added, quieter. We've had 2 similar reports in the county this year. Adults approaching teens, claiming family. Usually near transit stops. Walt's expression hardened. So this wasn't random. The officer didn't deny it. Could be connected. We'll look into it. Walt looked at Duke. Duke nodded slightly, already thinking the same thing, if it's connected. There are more. That night, Walt sat in his garage with his brothers and Sable. Coffee cups on the table, news playing low. They didn't celebrate. This wasn't a victory. It was a warning. Hawk said what everyone felt. If Mia hadn't run out to you, she'd be gone. Alt exhaled slowly. And security cameras would show nothing but a kid leaving with family. Sable's eyes were sharp. Predators don't snatch kids like movies. They convince them. They manipulate. They use polite lies. Preacher nodded. And they count on adults hesitating. Duke looked around the room. We don't hesitate. They started doing something simple, old school and effective. They mapped the county's vulnerable spots. Bus stops, gas stations, small diners, places where teens got stranded. Not to patrol like vigilantes, but to be present like neighbors used to be. 2 weeks later, Detective Miriam Sloan called Walt directly. Bear, your statement helped us tie those 2 to an attempted luring case in the next county. They weren't family. They were recruiters. There's a larger group. Walt felt the same cold feeling again. What do you need? Sloan hesitated. Eyes. People who notice what others ignore. Walt's voice was steady. Then you've got them. Months passed. The group got dismantled. Quietly arrests, warrants, storage units searched, phones seized. It wasn't flashy, but it was real. And Mia went back to school. She joined a self-defense class. She wrote a letter to Walt that he kept folded in his wallet like a sacred thing. It said, "Thank you for believing me. Thank you for standing there." Walt never showed it off. He didn't need to. He just needed to remember that even at 62, you can still be the difference between a child getting home or not. So if you're watching this, and you're older if you've lived long enough, to know the world can be kind and cruel and the same, to promise yourself something. When a kid says, "I don't know these people," you don't debate manners. You don't worry about looking rude. You don't say, "Maybe it's nothing." You stand there. You make the call. And if you need help, you call your brothers. If you want more stories like this, where families get their kids back, hit like, share, and comment. Stand your ground, because the more people remember how to show up, the safer our communities become.